What we have here is a Filigree Pommel Cap. It's from the top of the sword, like this one here. And what's particularly nice about this example is that it still has its 4 gold pins which attach the pommel cap to the hilt. It's from the early 7th century, so from about 600 to 650. The hoard has many gold pommel caps within it. This one is a particularly fine example, mostly because it hasn't suffered very much damage, either from its removal or from being in the ground. We chose this object because even though it looks very simple, the manufacturing techniques required to make it are highly sophisticated. At first glance, the filigree design, which is made up from these beaded wires, looks quite simple. On the surface, it looks like just one wire forming this design. But as you look closer, and especially underneath a microscope, you can see that actually each of these curves is made from 3 individual wires, 2 smaller ones, which are flanking either side of a larger beaded wire. These objects were created by highly technical craftsmen. Not everyone in the Anglo-Saxon world could create an object like this. On the surface you can see that the top is a very bright gold, but underneath the wires it's a slightly more dull gold. So it's giving a 2-toned effect. And we're not at this point sure how they were managing to make that effect or why they were doing it. We know that the back plate is surface enriched, so they were removing the copper and the silver surface. There are possibly 2 reasons why you're doing that. One of them is that it makes your surface more gold, so that you have a difference between the wires and the back plate, and that would give your design more detail. The other option is that it's something to do with the manufacturing, and you're creating a surface which has a slightly different melting point, so that when you try and attach your wires to your back plate, it's a little bit easier. What I like about this object is not only is it beautiful, but you can see a really human element to it. People, I think, get very carried away that the hoard is made of gold. But on this object in particular, you can see that the top of the pommel cap has been worn by the hand of the warrior over time, and that would take a few years to get to this level. I also think as functional weapons of war, they're very interesting because we look out for damage that could have occurred during battle, and this one has a really nice dent at the top. What's special about this object is the level of craftsmanship that's involved in creating it. One of the things that we'll do next is try and figure out how actually they were manufacturing these objects. And perhaps that will also tell us how the Anglo-Saxon society was arranged to actually have the resource to create them.
Watch out for more films in this series. In September, a special issue of History West Midlands explores the fascinating story of Anglo-Saxon Mercia and the Hoard. Subscribe now and register for our free newsletter. In October, a new permanent gallery opens at Birmingham Museum and Art Gallery. The Staffordshire Hoard is owned jointly by Birmingham City Council and Stoke-on-Trent City Council.